2024 Republican presidential candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy. Vivek, I think the Democrats are sensing that their lock on the black vote may be, breaking. Even the Washington Post is writing about a drop in turnout potentially among black voters, especially those who are young and male. And also there was this focus group that Politico did this week, and it was a small focus group, but the title of this piece is Pathetic. Voters of color slam Biden's performance on the economy, 6 in 10 saying they're not satisfied with his job in handling the economy. How significant is this?
I think this is a very significant opportunity, Laura, if the Republican Party has the good sense to step up and seize it. I saw this firsthand myself. I visited the south side of Chicago just a couple of months ago. I also went to Kensington in the middle of Philadelphia. I will tell you, Laura, it is not what you expect. I have never been in a room perhaps more ardently pro-border wall and pro-military on the border than the group of a predominantly black audience on the south side of Chicago, because they're turning a local high school, South Shore High School, into an encampment for migrants who are getting treated better than people in that community. And so I think this is a real opportunity for us to say the America First movement stands for, yes, all Americans. And if we stand on that principle to say that we will put the interests of the citizens of this nation first, regardless, urban or suburban, black or white, we stand for the interests of our citizens over those reporting into Zelensky or whoever halfway around the world. I think that's actually a very powerful message that transcends partisan boundaries. And if I'm the nominee, Laura, as I expect and hope to be, we will bring along voters of diverse shades of melanin in droves and win this election in a landslide.
And, as we said in the open of the show, like the Democrats only have the politics of racial division. And so that's why you have the commentators coming out and saying, well, we need black majority states in the United States, missing the fact that blacks are already moving back to the South because it's a better economy. And now, Vivek, conservatives are pushing back against this politics of racial division. Progressive Insurance has been sued by America First Legal for patently unlawful racism by offering $25,000 grants to help black-owned businesses buy vehicles, but barring white, Asian, Latino, and other entrepreneurs from applying. This is part of the corporate scam you've been trying to expose.
That was Fox with Laura Ingram. She was having an interview with Vivek Ramaswamy. And basically, Vivek Ramaswamy was saying, and this is the truth, that illegal immigrants are treated much better than black Americans. And that's a problem in the United States because black Americans are not second citizens. Black Americans are equal to everyone else in this country. So why would the government choose illegal immigrants rather than treating black Americans good? And this is the problem in the United States, sadly, that big government is still not for black people. In fact, Laura Ingram and Vivek Ramaswamy were talking that the young blacks are not really for the big government. So the young blacks are in on, they know small government is much better than big government. And now you think that segment was anything? Wait till you see the next segment we have with President Biden and the Maui. And don't you touch that dial. We have the week's joke for you. We took a clip from Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Fallon, and he's talking about the President of the United States. The joke is so funny, you've got to see it. In fact, every segment moving forward, there's a joke at the end. So watch the segment completely so you can see the joke at the end. And don't forget to like, and don't forget to freely subscribe. I'm Tisha Powell, but we'll see you real soon. We'll be back after this segment. You've got to watch.
Jesse Waters, glad to have you here. What do you make of all of this?
Joe Biden's the only person that spends more time on vacation than I do. And it took him 5 days to address the deadliest wildfires in modern American history. Took him 6 days to address the Afghanistan evacuation. Again, he was on vacation for both. He had to be dragged kicking and screaming to Maui. He didn't want to go out and talk to the press about it because the press is going to ask him about Hunter Biden. So he doesn't even want an investigation into what caused these fires, and we know why. It's because there was incompetence all over this state. Sirens were not activated. This guy wants to share water with everybody except the fire. I'd share all the water with the fire. And then so they asked this Pharaoh farmer, this indigenous Hawaiian, hey, do you mind if we share some of this water with the fire department, or do you need it for your Pharaoh? That, I think, was a 5-hour lapse when they could have gotten the water out there. This used to be an agricultural powerhouse, Hawaii. And then all of a sudden it became a tourist trap, and so they let all of these non-native grass species just go completely wild all over the island, completely mismanaged, and now the place is scorched. The power company doesn't spend a dime trying to clean up the underbrush for all the fallen power lines to catch fire to. And Biden comes out and the media comes out and they're going to blame global warming, Dana. And talk about leading the witness. Did you see the woman from CBS say, what you're saying is there's some dumb people in Hawaii managing this, but it's probably the fault of big oil, right? That's what we're doing here, because you can blame your incompetence on global warming, but global warming doesn't get to respond to that. And everybody now just talks about global warming instead of all the massive screw-ups that have taken place on this poor island.
What about a global warming pass?
That was Jesse Waters on Fox on the 5, and basically he's just repeating the truth. President Joe Biden did nothing for days when the Maui fire took place. Over 114 people died, and 1,000 are still missing. And President Biden, he's just like, he didn't want to go there or something because he's afraid that the reporters would ask about Hunter Biden. You know what's going on with the Hunter Biden saga. Hunter Biden's in a lot of hot water. He didn't pay his $22 million unpaid taxes for years, even though he should have paid his taxes. And then now that he was caught, now a friend paid for it for him. So there's a lot of scandal going on with Hunter Biden. He's got a baby mother that he wasn't paying his child support. Moral duties, you've got to pay your child support, you've got to pay your taxes. And somehow Hunter Biden felt he was above the law because his father is president of the United States. So they had to take him to court, Hunter Biden to court, to get him to pay his child support. Something as simple as a child support, Hunter Biden was forced into court to pay. For taxes, Hunter Biden was forced to pay it. So President Joe Biden is dodging that because it's an election year. And sadly, people in Maui wanted the president to be there. And the president just literally did not show up until a lot of days expired. And that's wrong. That's morally wrong not to be with people who are experiencing something devastating like what's going on in Maui. So our thoughts or prayers are with the people in Hawaii. And now, as I promised you, it's time for a Jimmy Fallon joke about President Biden. And believe me, we always end with a joke. Folks, go ahead and check out our tag products from Neiman Marcus, and also go ahead and do a free like and a free subscribe. That way you'll get the latest breaking news and the latest joke from the United States. All right? Watch what Jimmy Fallon had to say. Just look at this. This one is funny. We'll be back. I'm Tisha Powell. We'll be back tomorrow with more. We're leaving you now with a joke.
Yeah, Biden spent time with White House staffers' kids. He even took some questions from them. Let's see how that went.
My name's Amelia, and where are your grandsons or granddaughters?
One granddaughter lives in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia. One granddaughter lives in New York. One granddaughter lives in Washington. One granddaughter lives in Wilmington. My grandson lives in California. I left somebody out, didn't I? Anyway, I did say 5, you're right. So let me say that 2 in Philadelphia. You're confusing me, but they're all around